This afternoon we're here at what best can be described as the maternity ward at Lion Country Safari. And when I say maternity ward, I'm referring to white rhinos, because here we've got Mother Bloom, who's 22 years old, and we've got her 2-week-old young calf called Josh. I'm here with Hayley Possessor of Lion Country Safari, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Rhino program here at Lion Country. So tell me, how long has the program been going with the white rhinos here?
Lion Country Safari has been participating in the white rhinoceros species survival plan since the 1970s. And since that time, we've had 38 white rhinos born here at the park.
It's quite a privilege to be standing here with white rhinos, considering the fact that at the turn of the 20th century, there were probably no more than 60 southern white rhinos left in the entire world. And most of them came from my home country of South Africa, in the northeastern portion of South Africa, a place called KwaZulu-Natal. And it's from that seed population that all white rhinos found in the world today originate. So today we're looking at numbers around 18,500 or thereabouts, and it's testament to the great success story of the conservation of this iconic species. And you guys here at Lion Country Safari are doing some fantastic work, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, we're always happy to support the conservation efforts of the species, especially species that are as threatened with extinction, such as the white rhinoceros. And as part of continuation of that conservation programming, we are a happy participant of the AZA's, or the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, White Rhinoceros Species Survival Plan. That's a lot of words to basically say that we are participating in the long-term conservation of a healthy population of white rhinos under human care as the wild populations decline and face threats. So currently we actually do have 2 white rhino calves that were born very, very recently. So we have Josh, and then we also do have Aziza.
That's great, and I believe that Bloom is not a first-time mother, is she?
She's not. Bloom has been a wonderful participant of the species survival plan, especially since her genetics are considered underrepresented in the population. So that makes her contributions even more valuable. And this is actually, Josh is her 5th calf that she's had.
And there's nothing cuter than a baby white rhino. You know, people often think, oh, how can a rhino be cute? But look at this little guy and have a look at his facial features and his antics. They're really playful, and when you see a baby white rhino in the field, especially the young males, they get really boisterous. And this little calf is only 2 weeks old, but yet he'll walk up to anything unfamiliar, he'll do a mock charge, and he'll sort of run back, and they almost have this like puppy dog appearance in their antics, don't they?
They do. And we have such an intensive care program here. You know, as he's exploring his world, we'll start to introduce him to contact with the keepers, because as they get older, we want to make sure that we're constantly aware of their health and their state every morning. So it's important for him to become comfortable with the keepers checking on him, inspecting him, making sure his eyes look healthy. So you'll see as he gets older, he'll start to get a little bit more comfortable coming closer to keepers, even though he's still very curious, adventurous, and exploring everything that's new around him.
So when will he actually venture out into the main area to join the other rhinos?
That's a great question. They will usually come out after about 3 months in the maternity area, so it's a good solid 3 months of bonding, nursing from mom, growing a little bit, getting bigger, and getting a little bit more confident as well.
And it's amazing watching these rhinos and looking at how well adapted they are to their lifestyle of feeding on grass, because they're different species of rhinos. There are 5 species worldwide, and 2 species found in Africa. The white rhino, which is broken into 2 subspecies, the northern white rhino, which is almost extinct, and the southern white rhino. And if you look at the 2, and then there's the black rhino, which is the other species, but if you look at the 2 species, there's a lot of difference between them, because white rhinos are grazers, and if you look at the body structure, you'll notice that their heads are elongated, and they almost graze like lawnmowers from side to side. And look at the big hump on the back of the neck between the shoulders, and that big hump is basically pure muscle, which is used to control and support that neck as it moves from side to side when they graze. So the source of the demise of rhinos across the world is that right there, their horn. And the horn on a white rhino, in fact all rhinos, is basically just keratin, the same substance found in our fingernails. And it's really tragic because there are no real functional uses for white rhino horn. A lot of people in the East will say, oh, it's great for, dagger handles for young men in Yemen, for example, when they graduate to manhood. And then people will say you can grind it up for medicinal purposes, aphrodisiacs, all kinds of cures and so-called medical uses, but none of this has been proven. And it's crazy that we've brought an entire species basically to its knees for something that really isn't medically useful whatsoever. And we're very privileged here in the Palm Beaches to witness the recovery of incredible species like southern white rhino and the great work that you are all doing here at Lion Country Safari, ensuring that if white rhino, God forbid, do go extinct in the wild, we have a great population of them here in captivity where we can replenish those stocks that become extinct.